Hi, motherfuckers, let's get into it. If I make a post about something like porn or sugar daddies or whatever the fuck, and someone follows me for it, and then later on another topic that proves that I am definitely ingrained in some form of sex work myself or ever have been in my life, and then you start shitting on me or acting surprised, I think you have something up here. Like, it's not my fault that the only hole you're getting from someone like me is a hole through your fucking skull, either from a lobotomy or a motherfucking gun. Because it's like, I'm sorry, that should, like, fuck you. I don't like you. Because why are you out here just. Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, some dude online, like, followed me because I guess I made a funny post about how I think motherfucking about like some sort of bang bus or whatever. It was like a bang bus video, and it's like this dude followed me because it's like, ooh, a woman who's into porn, haha, funny, sexy, yes, follow, see what she's up to. And then I make a tweet talking about something. I won't call it traumatic. Let's just say something terrible happened last night that definitely involves sex work. And then let's just say this nigga wanted to be all ooh, like he wanted to just jump to mock me, and it's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. It's like, because how do I put this? That's some bitch made, stupid, redundant, idiot, dumb thing to do. To be like, I like sex work, and I like this woman, and I think this woman is sexy, and I want to hear about her sex and like what she enjoys and humorous things from her. Wait, you mean to tell me that she's into that sort of thing? That she herself would dare to be into that and degrade herself? What? Like, shut the fuck up. It's so pathetic. Because I don't know, like people, like how do I put this? And I'm not just saying this because I got a pussy or whatever, or because I do it. I'm just saying, like, it's possible to be a decent fucking person to somebody. Like, I don't know. It's always so weird when I see people who are the consumers of said product complaining about the product or whatever. Because it's like, you are a porn addict who's going around looking for tweets about motherfucking Bang Bus, and you want to make me feel like I'm not, like, you want to make me feel like I'm the weird one? Because, nigga, I'm getting fucked and I'm getting paid pretty damn well for it. I'm just saying. I'm out here, like, having, like, a good ass time, not on my dime. You are at home looking up tweets about Bang Bus and following random women because you can't approach them in real life because, no offense, you're probably on some sort of sexual registry. No offense. I just think it's a certain level of mental. I don't know. I don't want to say the R word, but it's coming to mind like, and I need to find another word. I would say the word. There's another word that came to mind, but it has racist origins, so I can't say that one. Let's just say ignoramus. Like, you gotta be a real fucking troglodyte. I just gotta say. Like, brain dead. I don't know. I just don't like people who are like, I love hoes, but then they also hate hoes. Which is it? Because if I see a cute girl and then I'm like, ooh, I want to hear more about her having sex because I want to consume her and stuff, and I'm just happy to be in the presence of a woman, and then you're shocked that other people would also be happy enough to be in my presence that they would pay me for such. Yeah. Some people say not to talk about sex work online, but I'll put it to you this way. No offense, there's a lot of things that women are advised not to talk about online. There's not shit you can talk about online because people are fucking stupid. Like, you could talk about a breakup, you could talk about a fight, you can talk about political issues. Someone will still find a way to hate on you, but it's still astronomical that it can be someone out there beating their dick to you on some, oh my god, that's fucking hot, I like it, there's a woman out there who's sexually liberated and will talk about freaky shit online, and then they want to be shocked that the girl also does freaky shit in real life. Like, are you dumb? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because I'll put it this way, I like Italian food, and if I were to go into an Italian restaurant and see them serving Italian food, and then I decided I'm gonna follow this like restaurant on Instagram, and then I saw on their Instagram that they themselves also like make even more Italian food in the privacy of their own home, sometimes with like guests or whatever who aren't me, then it's like, cool. I'm not gonna. It's like, cool. I expected you to do that, you know? But I don't know. I just hate an overall normalized culture of hating on sex workers, hating on escorts, hating on. Well, okay, escorts are obviously sex workers. I'm not saying they're different. I'm just saying it's stupid that it's like. Because why? Like, why should it be normal that there's people out there who brag about, like, oh yeah, I went to VIP with this girl and made her dance for me and do all this, like, sexy stuff in VIP for me just to run out with, like, all of the money I gave her. Like, no, you need to get beaten with a lock and a sock, my dude. Like, really. And then they want to act like she's the bad one. Like, oh, well, it's her fault. She took that job. No, it's the nigga's fault. Because, like, for any other job, that would be, yeah, that's a crime. If you went into a restaurant and you were like, I'm going to order a shit ton of food and then put down a card that I know is fucking faulty, and then I'm going to tell them I'll be back, but in reality, the card is fucking dead as fuck and has no funds on it, and I'm really just leaving after, like, running up $1,000 check or something, like, yeah, the staff would be right to fucking hate you. Like, I don't know. I think all of it just really points to a normalized disrespect of women. But it's like, really, dude. I just think it's fucking weird to be like, here's a chick I'm attracted to on the internet and I'm simping for and lusting for and being nasty. Like, yeah, but sometimes I do meet people like that even on my own YouTube comment sections, and sometimes I'm just reminded how stupid the populace is. I remember in one video I released, like, sex work was discussed openly. I talked about, like, this one ex, and specifically how I was like, if me and him were ever gonna be a thing again, he had to give me, like, what, $3,000 or whatever. And I said that mainly to fuck with him, but it's like, it is true though. It's like, yeah, for that amount, after what he did to me for several years, like, if anything, I should have been, yeah. And I remember this one lady commented, ooh, you are such an inspiration, keep making videos. And then the second I released a much more tame video, where I didn't even talk about anything vulgar, it was actually like 1/12 the amount of vulgarness. Like, it was like 2%, like, compared to the other video. It was such a it's like I was just like, hi, this is a funny video about this dude who promised he was going to give me $50 to go out for coffee with him, but instead he just got weird as fuck. And the video is on this page too, but I remember this lady, she commented, she was like, oh my god, don't talk about things like this on the internet. Do you want to fuck up your life and ruin your reputation? What fucking life? Excuse me. Like, and like, sometimes things don't click with people. I have to tell them, you do know my most popular video on here was when I was 19 and I talked about a dude's braces getting stuck in my coochie hairs, right? Are you aware? Or people will get on here and be like, ooh, don't swear online, like, it's not ladylike. I'm gonna repeat this. My most popular video on here is me talking about a dude getting his fucking braces stuck in my coochie hair. Also, if you don't fuck with sex workers, you just can't simply talk to me, because it's like, you're like, how do I put this? People do what they do to survive. Times are tough for everybody, and if you're the type of person who can be like, oh, this chick is going through a really hard time and she just had, like, a really fucked up encounter from a guy she thought she could trust in a sex work, like, environment, because it's like, hey, if it wasn't, like, fucking, like, if the topic wasn't sex, then, like, you wouldn't even be tripping. If I just said something like, ooh, I worked a normal job at the bank and then someone took this amount of money from me, you'd be like, oh, that sucks. Or would they? Because some of these people don't have brain cells, empathy, or anything. That's why they can't even pay for pussy if they wanted to. They're on the fucking they're on the no contact list. They're blacklisted and shit. I don't know, I just think it's dumb. I think it's all dumb. I remember from a young age I kind of didn't fully understand why, like, dead hookers was such a, like, a punchline in a bunch of, like, media. Like, in a whole bunch of media, it's just, like, normalized. Or if they have a person in a movie they're gonna kill first, if it's not the token black guy, it's the whore. But what's so wrong with being a whore? Like, nothing is inherently wrong with it as long as you are safe, as long as you're doing things that aren't going to put you in danger, like, of STDs, and aren't going to, like, totally fuck up your life quality or whatever, then go for it, do whatever. Like, some people just hate women, and that's the real gist of it. They just hate them. They're just like, I feel like I am entitled to women, and that's usually the gist of it. Like, some men go to the strip club, or they say, ooh, why would I go to a strip club? Because why would I want to pay just to look at something, blah, 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 and porn is free. And it's like, okay, while you're out doing that, I'm going to go to the strip club because I like seeing naked chicks spin on a pole and do fancy tricks that I know I can't do with their fucking amazing muscles and gymnastic skills. And then also they get to shake ass in front of me, which is, like, 10 times better than any fucking video of August Dames I can find on the internet. I'm just saying. Also, RIP August Dames. It is fucked up what happened to her as well. It really is. And some people, even to this day, are weird about her death. I remember I talked online about some of the speculated reasons she had committed suicide outside of homophobia, and this one man got so mad. Sorry, I hope the video is not cutting out. My phone's being weird today. But I remember it was online. This dude got hella mad because I pointed out, like, hey, there was another article or few that came out that said August Ames, the porn star, but also, a human fucking being. She had a very traumatic childhood where she was hurt by many of her family members in a sexual way. And, like, allegedly, she had a scene with a certain popular male porn star that was just a lot rougher and very, very abusive and intense, and it just fucked with her and stuff. And, like, it already put her in a bad headspace amongst other things. And I can imagine getting harassed on social media because you bother to give a shit on if, like, you're gonna get an STD or not from the porn stars you're working with who aren't getting tested consistently. And all, like, she was trying to make it safer. Like, how do I put this? Even I thought the way she went about it was tasteless, but I don't think we needed to go as ham about it, because it's like that was just a woman trying to warn other young girls who were trying to get into the porn industry, like, be careful. There are men out here who just fuck anybody and aren't getting tested, and they're not that strict, and it can be unsafe for you, and it is not good for you. So, like, if you are getting into it, just please consider this. Now, was she still tasteless and also gave homophobic vibes? Absolutely, yes, 100%. But I wasn't gonna shit on her too hard. I just thought to myself, August, don't say that. But it's a tragic thing what happened to her. Oh, but some dude got really mad at me online just because I pointed out that, like, it was speculated. I even said myself it was just speculation that her childhood and some shit that happened to her when she was, like, a young girl, it happened to her for years repeatedly, also may have factored into a traumatic porn scene she worked in. And he just got hella mad. He was like, did she come back from the grave to tell you that herself? It's like, nigga, what? And then he just was, it's like, and I said, you are very strange. You don't know her. I don't know her, but you especially don't know her. And since neither of us know her, and then on top of that, there's no reason whatsoever that you should be this angry at all. At all. Like, why are you angry about someone talking about potential trauma that happened to your favorite porn star? Like, yeah, I don't know. And then people are still, it's just so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. People are disturbed. And I don't know. It's like a weird, yeah. Also on here, it's so funny. It's like people also will just see videos where I'll talk about things like braces in the coochie, or the frozen avocado stuck to my pussy, or all these amazing sex stories, and then in their mind they'll think, what a funny girl. I bet she has a body count of like 2, maybe 3 maximum. It's like, I hate to break it to you, you're gonna have to do math. Because if Johnny has 5 apples, you know, I remember this one guy, I don't know if he still watches my videos. If you do, hello, you're fun. I still laugh my ass off. I just remember they left a few comments on my page consistently, like, I love your channel, you're so great, you're so good. But then the second I made a video about body count, they were like, fucking 43? 43? 43? It's like, yeah. It's like like, wow, you expected the sex worker who had like a weird teenage years and weird every fucking year, honestly, and is sexually liberated to have a low body count? I hate to beg it to you. If someone is like, I want to put my tongue in all of your holes, why would I say no? It's like, like, unless they're like disgusting, disrespectful, a hazard to my safety, all that, of course I'll say no. But yeah, also, like, how do I put this? Prostitution, escorting, getting like sugar baby stuff, all of it, it just seems smart. Because guess what? If most men fucking turned into a woman, that's actually, yeah. Anytime I ask the question, if you were a guy, if you were a girl, what would you do? Their first answer is, I would immediately start selling pussy. Like, they'd immediately do it. Like, no hesitation. They'd get an OnlyFans. They'd be like, okay, if I'm a girl, I'm gonna be a fucking rich girl, and I'm gonna get a bunch of money from masturbating all day and making men my sims. I could get like fucking $400 in 1 week just from fucking foot pics, and I don't even have to work all that hard. Like, it just seems like a smart thing to do. It just seems like some people just really hate women and also feel entitled to them. And some people also just see it as like lazy or dangerous or bad. And it's like, how do I put this? The same people who shit on like women who have suffered or like have been sex trafficked or have done certain things because they need to survive, they're usually the same people who don't have women's best interests at heart. They're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna vote against like this for like housing for all. I'm gonna vote against like money and like workers' rights and this and that and all. It's like you're voting against everything that could stop it. So I'm just saying, like if you're voting for like, yeah, we shouldn't increase minimum wage and yeah, we shouldn't like have workers' rights, or yeah, who gives a fuck about sexual harassment laws being passed, and like, then guess what, people are gonna start going, I could work at this really shitty job where I'm gonna be degraded all the time and treated like fucking shit, or I could be in my home selling videos of me like masturbating 86 times a day and get really fucking rich. If anything, the only reason I haven't done that is because, like, let's just say my prices would be very high if I did something like that. So I go for the niche that works for me. I have a naturally high sex drive and questionable standards for what I see as attractive in a person. I'm just saying. Whenever I see someone who's trying to shit on sex workers, I just think to myself, you don't get bitches. And you're weird. And it's so funny because usually those are the same dudes who follow sex workers. So it's like, let me get this straight. You don't like sex workers, but you're following Mia Khalifa. But then you're also shitting on any video she makes where she's talking about like how she regrets getting into the industry because she got severely underpaid, ruined her reputation, and on top of that, like even though it's been years since she's ever done porn, and she didn't even make that many videos, like she's still basically the butt of jokes and constantly degraded, insulted, and can't even get a normal job if she wanted to. And then these motherfuckers won't be like, oh, you poor soul, sorry that happened to you. Let's find you a good job where you can be treated safely. They're not, like, no, they're just like, haha, fuck you, bitch, you deserve it. And then beating their meat to her videos because they hate women and because they feel entitled to her and because they can't stand that it's like a woman who was sexually liberated and wanted to get like money for it in a society that treated her as a fucking commodity. She wanted to be the one to put the price on herself. Sadly, it was a low price, and it's like, I don't know. Just all of it's fucked up. I'm just saying. Because if you really were someone who's against sex work or against porn or whatever, then I feel like you wouldn't be going out of your way to like shit on the women who actually feel bad about it or have suffered through it or more. You'd be like, you know what? Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, look, this is a prostitute who got abused and raped. Woo, 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 woo. You'd be normal. You'd be like, huh, she deserves safe treatment. She didn't deserve this behavior whatsoever. It's still the man's fault, and we need to put her in safer circumstances. But some niggas don't give a shit about that. They just want to hate women. And that's why women hate them and they can't get pussy, and some of them can't even